The film opens with Hansen, a short man who looks like he's being chased by a strange creature in the middle of the night. The animal in the long run corners him, and Hansen unintentionally tumbles down with serious scratch wounds on his thigh. Hansen tries to date a woman from a wealthy family 36 hours before the incident, in the hope that she will pay off his debt. The woman is furious because he claims that he will not engage in sexual activity after the wedding. She admonishes him for his unfortunate scholastic foundation and afterward gives her sister's number since he is very attractive. He is offended and leaves with the cake in his hand. It turns out that Hansen is employed by the Solidarity Zoo as an elephant keeper. He receives a message that evening from a representative of the dating app he has been using, informing him that they have discovered yet another wealthy woman. Hansen calls his father the following morning, who has mental health issues and always views his son as a special agent. A group of nurses suddenly appears, and one of them tells Hansen to pay the bill or his father will be kicked out. When he gets to a coffee shop, a pretty young woman by the name of Xiao Bai randomly approaches him and asks for his name in some way. When she says that she has been looking for him for so long, she acts strangely. When she tells Hansen that she is a fox, he is terrified. He enters the restroom right away, but gangsters confront him later and forcefully remove him from the coffee shop. Hansen owes the gangsters 2 million yuan, it is revealed. Xiaobai goes to Hansen's house in the evening, but when the woman finds the scars on his chest, he is scared. It turns out that Hansen once guarded Xiaobai when she was dressed as a white fox, which is when he got the scars. The woman tries to transform in order to demonstrate that she is in fact a fox because Hansen still does not believe her. Xiaobai finally changes into a white fox after drinking several bottles of beer. After the fox tears his clothes, Hansen runs from his place out of fear. During this time, a man from the Bureau of Transfiguration, or BOT, a group that studies unusual creatures, sees Xiaobai transform illegally in the human world and orders the others to capture her. Hansen is cornered and desperately tries to touch the drunk fox, but she startles him, causing him to fall down, and the fox follows the topless zookeeper to the roof. Fortunately, Hansen is saved when the BOT agents arrive on time. They deploy devices that erase the memories of the witnesses. Because she does not want Hansen to forget about her, Xiaobai destroys the device just before it reaches him. Xiaobai passes out from overindulging in alcohol a few seconds later, so the agents take her away, while leaving Hansen alone. When Hansen returns home 6 hours later, the criminals again confront him. He suddenly experiences hallucinations and goes insane, but Xiaobai appears to shield her lover. After the woman turns Hansen's head into a fox's head, the gangsters and Hansen flee in fear. BOT agents immediately dispatch the memory wiper device to the scene when they observe Xiaobai illegally transforming once more. Fortunately, Hansen is located by Xiaobai just in time to avoid being bitten by the device. She tells Hansen in an awkward way that she loves him and wants to marry him to repay him for his kindness. The zookeeper, on the other hand, makes it abundantly clear that he only saved her by accident at the time. On the other hand, Captain Hong's ability to capture Xiaobai is questioned by BOT Commissioner Yun when he visits the agents. He warns Captain Hong to prevent Xiaobai from becoming polluted by humans and explains that the fox form of Xiaobai is a rare breed. Back to Hansen. He meets a wealthy family's daughter who wants to marry him and help him with his money problems. But Xiaobai shows up suddenly and changes the mood, making it impossible for Hansen to date another woman. Hansen reveals desperately that he must marry a wealthy woman in order to pay off his debt immediately. That same evening, Commissioner Yun approaches Hansen to talk about the creature's history. He says that the creature's genetics were brought to Earth by an alien spaceship and then mutated with the ecosystem, creating the most intelligent creature on Earth, including Xiaobai, who now lives with humans. Yun gives a unique needle to Hansen, trusting that he would help them to catch Xiaobai. Hansen will get a lot of money from Yun in return, enough for him to pay off his debt and live a decent life. Hansen picks up trash when he goes to an amusement park, where Xiaobai approaches him and gives him money. Hansen, on the other hand, claims that it is pointless and renders Xiaobai helpless. He does not inject the liquid, despite having the opportunity to do so. Instead, he tells her about how a fan blackmailed him and caused him to lose 2 million yuan. Xiaobai dresses as a dancer and goes to a nightclub in order to give her lover more money. She figures out how to dazzle the rich man, yet out of nowhere Hansen shows up and removes her. Hansen corrects her for selling herself as they walk, demonstrating his genuine concern for her. He then talks about the time he spent with Yun. Xiaobai makes it clear that as long as the debt is paid, injecting her is acceptable, but he refuses and kisses her instead. They hold a brief wedding ceremony when they return to Hansen's residence. Meanwhile, Commissioner Yun finds out where the white fox is and immediately goes to the club to look for her. However, by chance, he discovers a woman engaging in illegal human contact. She tries to attack him, which causes Yun to get angry and kill her. Returning to the couple, attempts are made by bot agents to arrest Xiaobai for breaking the law as they encircle Hansen's location. Captain Hong, Yun, and his agents are also present. Hong creates a scene to delay the situation, allowing the couple to flee briefly. The struggle goes on until Yun says that he will kill Hansen. Xiaobai is forced to kneel and allows Bot to take her by the neck. Fortunately, the criminals appear at random and distract the agents. Xiaobai utilizes this valuable chance to change and takes off with Hansen. The commissioner fires an arrow that hits the fox in the back as he pursues them. Bing Bing, Xiaobai's friend, takes them and treats her deep wound. Bing Bing takes the couple to a movie production studio after the agents find her. The director is suspicious of a man who turns out to be Yun disguised as a member of the royal family because he has never seen him before in his terrible makeup, but the fighting scene is eventually shot. When Xiaobai discovers that bot agents are present in the studio, she attempts to flee with Hansen. However, Yun uses dirty tactics and successfully lures Hansen by bringing his father along. When Xiaobai notices them, he runs toward Hansen. She consciously injects the liquid into her neck after grabbing his hand. Hansen has become wealthy 3 months after the incident, enabling him to move his father into a decent hospital room. He still longs for Xiaobai and is willing to put everything on the line to find her, even though he has a lot of money. Hansen returns to his previous location, where he stumbles upon Captain Hong, who accuses him of administering the poison to Xiaobai. After a brief argument, Hong manages to break into the prison and brings Hansen to a restaurant, where the owner transforms him into a Commissioner Yun-like character. After that, they climb into a fridge and use an underground tunnel to get straight to the prison. Yun's brother-in-law turns out to be the prison manager they meet. Despite his confusion over fake Yun's actions, he is forced to follow his orders. Hansen is taken to Xiaobai's cell by the manager. Even after he removes his disguise, she does not appear to recognize her husband. While he tries to talk to her, she attacks Hansen. Hansen apologizes to Xiaobai for being a useless partner and shows her their marriage certificate. It appears that Xiaobai slowly remembers him. They attempt to expel Xiaobai shortly after Hong steps in. Sadly, they go over the genuine official Yun, which makes the gatekeepers confounded. Xiaobai breaks free just as the real commissioner shows off his wings and accidentally takes off Hansen's mask. Several prisoners break out of their cells as Yun is about to kill Hansen while streaming "It Live," disorienting everyone in the room. It turns out that they are in fact human beings who were falsely arrested earlier in the studio during the shooting sequence. Every cell in the prison is unlocked when one of them climbs up and foolishly pulls down the lever. As the prisoners emerge and attack the guards, the situation gets out of hand. Even when it comes to dealing with the prisoners, Commissioner Yun has to step in. Xiaobai finally regains consciousness at this point, but she still barely recognizes her husband. Yun is distracted by Hansen, and Hong takes advantage of this to bring him down. The battered Yun then tries to kill Xiaobai with a knife, but the knife hits Hansen, who is trying to protect her. When Xiaobai finally remembers Hansen, he becomes enraged and throws the commissioner out of the building with ease. The following day, Yun is seen being arrested and is now being evaluated for his mental state. Meanwhile, Captain Hong is promoted and allows their race and humans to marry. But the fact that his crush, Xiaobai, chose Hansen over him is still hard for him to accept. Hansen, on the other hand, escaped the attack, and the couple is now happily married. The couple bears a child at the movie's conclusion. To see more videos like this one, please subscribe, enable notifications, and like the video to support the channel.